Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Ní Fhlaibhín, and I'm delighted to be working with you all today. I work as a creative associate with a number of schools around the southeast, and I also work as a visual artist when I'm not supporting schools. I'm going to be running a webinar today on mandalas, how mandalas can support your creativity and also your well-being. And as you know, this month for Creative February, the theme is connecting with nature, and mandalas are a really beautiful way to have that connection. So first of all, I'm going to share some images that show you mandalas, first of all. So hopefully this is going to work okay. So our first image here is a snowflake. That's a snowflake taken under a microscope. So it's a microscopic image of a real snowflake. And as you can see, it's got a really detailed pattern. And this is really what mandalas are. They're patterns in nature starting at a center point. So as you can see, the snowflake starts in the center where my cursor is, and then it moves outwards. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today, finding a center point and moving outwards. Spiders' webs, really beautiful, detailed, gorgeous examples of mandalas in nature as well. And you can see here the little spider in the middle, working away in the center and building a really well engineered spider's web that's going outwards. This one here shows a pine branch from a pine tree. So thinking maybe of trees that you might have seen around Christmas time, starting at the center, this little pine branch, and it works outwards in a really beautiful pattern, getting larger and larger as it goes outwards. And now I'd like to share some real life mandalas, patterns that students have created. So this one here, using feathers and stones to create a really nice pattern, starting in the middle here and then working outwards and getting larger each time. Mandalas can be in any location. These ones we're doing indoors in your classroom, hopefully. This one here is by the seaside, and in the terrible weather we're having, it will get washed away very quickly, unfortunately. But thinking of patterns you can make outdoors. So we can see lots of beach pebbles are used, and seaweed and stones. And then with mandalas, they're not going to stay forever. They're going to leave, they're going to get washed away. This is another beach mandala. This time we use seashells and those lovely green bits of seaweed there. All the different colours you can find in seashells and pebbles. This one here on some soil. Really nice. And you can see these are all using natural materials. This one on a bit of tarmac in a school playground. And on a tree trunk. And this shows a mandala from start to finish, and a big hello if the boys and girls from Carlow Educate Together School are tuning in today. This is a mandala that the Creative Schools Committee made with me and their Creative Schools coordinator last summertime, about May or June last year in school. So we had, first of all, we gathered lots of materials and organized them so they weren't going to get mixed up. So we have some lovely little yellow dandelions, pebbles. So we're starting, having our starting point and getting larger. So we're having twigs in the next circle. So the circles are getting larger and larger each time. You can see here a nice large pattern forming. It's getting much bigger. And we were so lucky with the weather that day. You can see here with all the lovely sunshine. So we gathered up, the boys and girls collected lots of beach pebbles to use, and we used lots of dandelions and leaves. So it was really simple. And the Creative Schools Committee, so we had about 10 boys and girls taking turns to do a circle each, starting at the centre. This is one I did a few years ago using powder paints. It was very messy, so we had some plastic on the ground to help us, and we drawn out some shapes. And the boys and girls used lollipop sticks to help guide the paint. And you can see here, so there's lots of history and traditions with mandalas. So you can see here monks in China, Buddhist monks creating their mandala, starting at the center and using powder paints as well to create a really detailed mandala. So a little bit like what we were doing with the boys and girls using powder paints. You can see here where the tradition comes from. And it's a really good way to slow down and to kind of meditate through doing something, to get really lost in the activity. Here's some more examples of mandalas in different traditions. A drawing, powder paint, and then a stone carving from South America, from the Aztecs. You can see this here. This is in a stained glass. Well, it was a stained glass, and now it's kind of a ruin of a church in France with the mandala at the middle. Here is on a mosaic in ancient Rome using lots of tiles. So I'm going to stop the slideshow here, and I'll come back to that later. I'm there just to give you an idea of the kind of different types of mandalas that we can have, and remembering that we see them in nature all the time. So I'm going to start now. I'm going to move my camera down, and I want to start making a mandala. So hopefully you can do this in your class as well. So clear some space on your table. Hopefully you've got materials close by that you can start to use to make your mandala. So first of all, we're going to start at a center point. So I'm going to use a nice seashell that I found at the beach, and I'm going to put that in the middle. So that's my center point. And I'm going to start making my mandala, my first circle. So remembering that this month for Creative February, we're thinking about nature a lot and connecting with nature. And hopefully you've seen the beautiful posters in your school. So I collected some holly leaves. So be careful, because obviously these can be a little bit prickly, but just be careful holding them if you decide you'd like to make a mandala yourself. So my first circle, I'm using holly leaves. Now, so I've got a shell and I've got holly leaves. Now my next circle, I found a flower yesterday when I went out for a walk in the park that had fallen fallen off the tree on the ground with really nice pink petals. So I'm going to make another circle, my next circle of pink petals. So hopefully, if you're doing your own mandala right now, you're working out in your circles. creating a pattern. So this pattern, it's all pink petals. Now, my next circle, I'm going to use some pine tree branches or little tiny pieces from a pine tree. So I'm going to make another circle going outwards. And this time I'm going to have a seashell in between each branch. So making mandalas have been used as a way of relaxing, of meditating, of spending time with nature, of just focusing on what you're doing, not worrying too much about other things. So pine branch shell, pine branch shell, pine branch shell. That's my pattern going the whole way across. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. We're trying to increase the circle each time. So hopefully you can see okay there that my um, mandala is getting larger each time. Shell in the center, a circle of holly leaves, a circle of flower petals, a circle of pine tree branches and shells. And for my final circle, I'm going to use a mixture of leaves, more leaves that I just gathered. These are ivy leaves, and then some long leaves. So it's nice to have a contrast. So I've got an ivy leaf, a long leaf, ivy leaf, a long leaf, ivy leaf, a long leaf. So you might find this as well that when you're working on your table, on your desk in school, it might be getting quite crowded now. And it would be really brilliant if your teachers would like to share any photos of what you're doing in the chat. And I know that Paul, who's supporting us in the Zoom, will also be sharing ways for you to send us images of your work that you've done. And if you've any questions or comments, please do use the chat. It'd be really lovely to see your thoughts or any questions you might have. But continuing my pattern, ivy leaf and a long leaf, ivy leaf and a long leaf. Going the whole way around, ivy leaf and a long leaf, ivy leaf and a long leaf. So our first mandala is created. Boys and girls, teachers, I'll just hold that down again so you can see. It'd be really lovely if anyone would like to share ideas in the chat around types of materials that you could use or that maybe you did use this morning to make the first mandala. If you've got any feedback at all, pop it into the chat. It'd be really lovely um, to hear from you. Thank you. So if anyone's got any feedback at all around how they created their first mandala, it'd be really lovely to hear from you. Super. Now, another activity that you can do around mandalas is drawing them. And I just want to give you a very quick little bit of support as to how to work with a regular A4 piece of paper that we use in the photocopying machine. So we're going to make that into a square because our mandalas are kind of more like circular than rectangular. So a square shape can be really useful for that. So you've got your A4 sheet of paper. I've made a triangle, so corner to corner. And that leaves us with a little blank space here, which I'm going to fold. And we can cut that off. So it leaves us with a folded triangle shape. So we're changing our A4 rectangle into a square. And then we're going to fold it again. And by doing that, we've got a center point. So now we've got 4 triangles. And we can make a drawing of our mandala. And it can be really nice just to use perhaps a black pen or even just work with pencil. And this could be something that you could color in later. I'm just going to give a quick demonstration as to what I mean. So I'm going to just get a book to lean on. And I'm going to draw my mandala so I can remember it because like I mentioned, mandalas don't last forever. We'll have to move them because they take up space in our classroom, or if we do one outside, the wind and the rain will change it. So I had my seashell in the middle. So I'm drawing it overhead, bird's eye view, like I'm looking down on it. And then I had my spiky holly. And this can be a really nice mindful colouring activity for later. So here's my work so far. I've got my shell in the middle, my spiky holly. That was my first circle. Then I had my flower petals. So again, you're looking at this bird's eye view. And this could be something that you could colour later and make a wall display of all the different mandalas that you've created in your class. So I'm doing this really quickly. I know that you'd be spending a lot more time working on this, but just to give you a really quick idea of the other activities that you can do using this. So now I'm very quickly drawing my outside circle of my pine branches and shells. So you can see the whole drawing here. So hopefully you will have a chance to do this. It would be really lovely if you could send us in your photos of the mandalas you create on your desk and also photos of your drawing of your mandala afterwards. Now, I'm going to move on to create another mandala. And this time we're going to have a sensory mandala. So we're going to use some of the same materials but make a different pattern. But we're also going to use other natural material, natural things. Some things are things you use in cooking and that would have nice, unusual textures or nice smells. So just to give you some ideas of what you can do, um, for example, maybe some of you have come across these cinnamon sticks and they smell really good. Cinnamon, like Christmas smells. And these guys, you can buy these in like supermarkets star anise. They look like a star and they're also smell really good. So we're going to use these. We're going to use other things that you can eat. Almonds. Of course, if you've got a nut allergy in your school, you wouldn't be using those, so you be careful. Pasta. Um, Cardamom seeds. So sometimes if you have a curry, you'll have cardamom seeds, and they also smell really gorgeous. Also got cloves, another spice that smell really good. So it's a pity that we can't smell these, that you can't in your classroom, but hopefully this will give you some ideas. Also using chilies. Um Thought the shape of those could be fun. So, thinking again about our center point for our mandala. So, I think for my center point this time, I'll have a star anise and I'll have maybe a little kind of tower. I'll have a star anise and a cardamom seed in the middle of the star anise. So, I'm going to then create my first circle, a circle of almonds outside the star anise, outside the center point of my sensory mandala. Then working out again, going a bit larger, using some cinnamon sticks. And in between the cinnamon sticks, I think I'll put something else that's quite long, chili peppers. And these are all things, maybe you could do this as a group activity that may be different. Um, Tables in the class could collect something each um, that have certain smells. So we've got our center of star anise and a little cardamom seed that smells really delicious. Then we've got our first circle of almonds, our next circle of cinnamon and chili. And maybe my pattern might be that at the end of each chili and cinnamon, I'm going to put a dried pasta. So you could, this is a mix. There's a couple of things here you could eat, but most of them are dried. But you could also think about edible mandalas that you could eat afterwards. So we've got maybe in between each pasta, we might put another star, a little star anise. And again, all of the materials we're using are natural materials. Well, I know the pasta is kind of made, but it's not going to do any damage. Um, it's quite compostable. So thinking of materials for our Connecting with Nature Creative February month that kind of support the environment. And a lot of the materials we're using are found naturally in nature. They're found on plants. We've got our group of stars. Maybe we'll put, because they smell absolutely delicious. We maybe put a cardamom seed at each side of our star as another layer, as another circle of our sensory mandala that has lots of delicious smells. And boys and girls and teachers, if you've got any ideas, please do share with us in the Q&A or in the chat. Super. Thank you, Alison. They're using maths resources, sticks and bears. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, exactly. You could use all sorts of materials that you have in your classroom. I just thought I'd share with you kind of natural materials because of our connecting with nature theme. But yeah, it's brilliant. All of the resources that you have around you in your classroom are really helpful for creating mandalas. Thanks, Alison, for that feedback. So hopefully you can see that nicely. So our sensory mandala, we've got a star anise in the center with a cardamom seed on top, a circle of almonds, a circle of cinnamon sticks and dried chili peppers, and a final outer circle of dried pasta, cardamom, and star anise. Thank you. Now, for our next activity, I'm going to work on a larger scale down on the floor. And I want to show you, just want to share again. Oh, hold on, we've got another idea here from Sarah Cooney. Thanks, Sarah. We think you could use recyclable materials, clothes or toys to make a mandala. That's absolutely brilliant as well. And that really connects with our connecting with nature theme as well, thinking of recycling, taking care of the environment. Super. So, yeah, you could go absolutely huge with this. So, I'm going to just share with you now some more images before we go any further from my mandala presentation. And this again shows Carlow Educate Together School. So yeah, as one of our schools mentioned in the chat just there, they were using maths resources. So you could use a mixture. So in Carlow Educate Together School, we decided that the mandala making with the Creative Schools Committee went really well, and we'd like the whole school to be involved. So we created a whole school mandala at the end of the school year. And we used a mixture of natural materials and, exactly as someone had mentioned, resources that you have in school already. So class by class, we did this. So we took over the school hall. I took it over for the day and we worked on making mandalas, and we had all our materials. You can see there, there's just barely, we had lots of beautiful daisies and we had everything in different boxes. So that really helps with the organization of this. So the first class started with a flower in our center point, um, counting bricks, leaves, and daisies. You can see it's getting bigger, class by class, getting bigger again. We're using flowers because it was summertime, flowers, daisies, pebbles, dominoes. Those pink and purple ones are kind of building dominoes from their classrooms. And you can see we tried to have everything arranged to help so it didn't get messy. Getting bigger. So this was the whole school taking part. So they had a chance to look. Then they decided in groups. So different groups in each class were making different circles. They decided together their pattern. And you can see the children there in the background gives an idea of how big this got. So it was taking quite a while to finish one circle. So it was a really big job, and it was a really lovely whole school kind of art and nature and well-being activity. And that was it at the end of the school day. It was absolutely huge. And we were, yeah, I got up on a chair to take some nice photos, um, some nice overhead photos. So just to give you an idea of what's possible to do in your school with using just completely natural materials that you can gather, mixed with materials that you have in your school, in your maths resources. You don't need to spend any money at all doing this activity. And then at the end of the activity, we'd all those photos to share on the school website. And it was a really gorgeous occasion. And like I had mentioned, we can do a drawing. So the children were able to draw as a recording, as a document, as a drawing to record the work they had done. And then that can create a mindful mandala colouring book resource in your school as well. Thanks so much for the feedback. I'm just popping in to the Q&A again. Oh, thank you. Junior infants in St. Mary's, Donnybrook, and we're really enjoying the Mandala webinar. That's brilliant to hear. Thank you. And let me just stop sharing this now. Super. And I'm going to move onto the floor for the next part of our activity. And this one, again, it's a mixture of um, trying to use materials that are all natural and some materials that you could even that are edible. So that could be something as a challenge to think about. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to be working on the floor. So just as a way to show you how large scale we could go, I'm introducing a couple of um, materials that could be used, that could be edible too. But mainly our focus is on natural. So hopefully you can see that I put down, yeah, I've got my stone here in the middle. These are some lovely Christmas pine cones that were decorations. I'm going to make my first circle. So remember, when we're making mandalas, we're always thinking of our center point and making circles and patterns going out from our center point. So we've got our stone and our pine cones, and maybe as a pattern in between the pine cones, going to put some apples. So yeah, you could do lots of variations of this. Oops. I might just try and remember keeping our patterns. I might use this later. I'm going to take that one out. So I've got the right amount of apples and pine cones. And again, thinking of the edible, I got some passion fruit because I think they've such beautiful shapes and colours and details that they'd be quite interesting. So we've got pine stone in the centre, pine cones, pine cone apples, passion fruit coming next. Thinking of all of the details of this. So I'm deciding I'm going to put a potato at the end of each of the pine cone sticks. And some logs. So having those kind of between each potato. Oops. So like I was showing you in the images of the work I did with Carlo Educate Together, We did our outdoor mandala with the committee first, so with a small group, and then we did a whole school mandala in the school hall. But even if you don't have access to a school hall, this is something you could do if you kind of moved your desks around or on a hopefully when the weather clears up again, something you could do in an outside space. So now I'm going to add some leaves. So I've got my holly leaves. I'm going to put a holly leaf between the logs and the potatoes. Yeah. And again, you could use all sorts of materials for this because our creative schools theme this month is connecting with nature. Nascatha Lenodor. I wanted to focus on natural materials, but like we'd mentioned in the chat, we could be using all sorts of materials such as maths resources, PE equipment, um, school books, recycled clothes, school bags, you name it. Now, coming out at the other end of each potato, I've got maybe two long leaves making a V. You can get really detailed with your pattern making. And maybe just as our final element, I'm going to push some of these beautiful pink petals on each, I don't know, at the end of each stick beside each potato, or maybe it'll be one, two, three. This can be a really great, I know I'm doing this on my own, but as you can see in the photos from my creative school, it's a great way to build teamwork, sharing ideas, decide making decisions, giving everybody a turn, and kind of working together. So lots of really important skills are happening too, and of course building patterns and having nice mindful moments with nature. So I'm putting, my pattern is 3 pink petals on each of the pine cone sticks. Well, hopefully you can see that nicely. Our stone in our center, pine cones and apples and passion fruit as our circles are moving out. Then moving out to logs, holly, potatoes, logs, holly, potatoes as our pattern, and our pink petals on our sticks and our kind of our V-shaped leaves here as well. Super. So yeah, this is to give you an idea of what you can do using the floor and the ground. And I'm just gonna move my green back up again. And we still got our smaller mandala on the table. So I just want to check how we're doing. Great, we've got another um, response. Liscarroll National School use school supplies and are having lots of fun getting creative. That's fantastic. Thank you. And it will be really lovely to see those images when you can. So we've got lots of information in um, the chat about how you can share the work. And please do keep sending in to the Q&A. It's wonderful to get those responses. Um, Now I'd like to share our final activity that we can do. And this is, like I'd shown you earlier, how we can draw mandalas as well. So that was my drawing of the very first mandala I did, which can be a really lovely colouring resource. So I'm going to let you get ready for a couple of seconds. Oh, this is great. We've got one of my creative schools here. That's brilliant. Working with their mandalas, Mr. Doyle's class in Kylenear National School. That's fantastic. I was in with your school last week, so it's really great that you're taking part today. Thanks a million. So again, I'm gonna ask you all if it's possible, and if not, you can look back at the video later, but if it's possible for you to have an A4 sheet. Um, so maybe if you want to do this activity along with me, that's great. You could get yourselves, if it's possible, some A4 paper now. If it's possible to cut it into the square shape, like I showed you at the beginning, which is a really, I think it's a really handy little tip to know. So I'm going to demonstrate that again. So I've got my A4 rectangular regular sheet of printing paper for the photocopier, and I'm going to fold one triangle corner to corner. So yeah, and that leaves a gap there that we're going to cut. So we're going to cut along this line here, and that creates a square. So it's a really handy way of turning a sheet of A4 photocopying paper into a square, because mandalas are circular, so they're more connected and kind of fit better on a square sheet. We've got our square folded into two triangles. And I'm going to fold that again, like we did at the beginning of the session. So try and be careful and get your corners matching up. Great if any class is doing this along with me, that would be super. And otherwise, you could maybe do this at another point today or even this week. So now we've got our four triangles folded to create a square. So unfortunately, I'm doing this just myself, but luckily you're all in a class. So what I thought would be a really nice kind of group drawing mandala activity is that if each person draws one circle and passes it on to the next person, and they do the next circle. So that way, we're going to build a really nice set of different mandalas. So let's get started. So everybody draw their center point to their mandala, thinking of anything you like. I think I'll do a flower for mine. So just one thing in the center. So if you can see on the screen, I've got a flower in the center. I'm going to now pass that on. I'm going to pretend I'm passing it on, and I'm going to now do the next circle. So maybe for this one, I'm going to draw, let's see, little seeds. So a circle of seeds. So hopefully if you're doing this in class, you now have someone else's mandala and you're drawing the first circle. So you can see here, we've got our first circle. I've got a circle of seeds. Now we're going to pass it on again. So you're going to get a different mandala from another person in your class, hopefully. And don't worry if this is kind of tricky to do now. It's something you can do later. So I'm gonna, for my next circle, I think I'm gonna do some of these. You could do circles or squares, anything you like. I think I'm gonna try and do the star anise, maybe stars that represent that. So you're doing your next circle, and it's a different mandala. So you've swapped mandalas, you've passed them along to the people in your class. So taking your time, doing your, and the next circle on the mandala that was passed to you. So now we've got our center point, a circle of seeds, a circle of star anise. And now you're going to pass on again, change mandalas, pass it to the next person, and you're going to do your next circle. So I think for this, I'm going to do holly leaves. Let's see. So you can decide whatever you'd like to do and trying to remember that you're passing the mandalas. So I know that takes a bit of time in your class to organize. But if you could, that would be great so that these mandalas all become everybody's work. And you're going to have lots of different patterns on your mandalas. And if anyone wants to put in the Q&A at this point what they're drawing in their paper mandalas now, if anyone would like to type in, that would be so lovely to hear what any of the boys and girls in different classes all around the country might be drawing in their mandalas. Oh, great. I think, do we have anything yet? Not yet from this activity. But if anyone would like to share, it'd be so lovely to hear about what you're drawing on your mandalas. So I'm showing you mine again. My flower in the center, seeds in the first circle, star anise in the next, and holly leaves in the next circle. So if you can remember, we're going to now, for the next circle, pass it on again. And I think for this, I might draw flower petals at the end of each holly leaf. Now, so I've got my next circle, flower in the center, seeds, star anise circle, holly circle, and petal circle right out at the edge. So hopefully you get the idea that this is something you could do in your class and share. Then you could create, maybe your teacher might decide to photocopy them and staple them together, and you've got a mandala mindfulness coloring book that you could use for a little kind of well-being break, or you could bring it home, something you could do at home as well. Just before we finish up, I'd like to maybe just very quickly share again just a couple of images of mandalas that the boys and girls have created in their school. So this was outdoors in Carlow Educate Together School, using materials that the boys and girls had collected, pebbles, stones, dandelions, leaves. So mandalas is a lovely group activity you could do outdoors. We could use powder paint. Some of those images show mandalas in the world around us and in history. We started with our mandalas in nature. And again, just to very quickly show you how we could do this as a whole school activity using kind of some free space in your school, maybe in your classroom or in a school hall or even outdoors. Yeah, and that was our final whole school mandala with lots of different classes involved. Thanks so much, everyone. And if anyone has any questions or responses that they'd like to share at this moment, that would be great. If anyone has any other questions, it's been so lovely to hear the feedback in the Q&A. We'd love to see your images, and you can do that you can send them by email to creativeschools@artscouncil.ie, or you can use the hashtag Creative February. So that email again, it's in the chat, creativeschools@artscouncil.ie. It would be so lovely if you could send us through any of your work from this morning's mandala activities. That's super. Thank you, junior infants in St. Mary's, Donnybrook. The children are working on the mandalas in the last activity. That's wonderful. And like I had mentioned at the beginning, I might just share my screen one last time, um, just to go back to remember how we see mandalas in nature. And this idea of the cycle of life and the circle of life. And it's great now coming into springtime and seeing that cycle continue, that the leaves and the flowers, the daffodils are all coming out. So thinking of how calming working with mandalas can be and how relaxing and how we can see them in nature. So the snowflake is one example I had, a spider's web and a fir tree. And boys and girls, if anyone has any other ideas of mandalas in nature and you would like to pop it into the Q&A now, please feel free. So thanks so much. I hope you've got some ideas for how you can use mandalas in your own class and maybe even at home. Thanks so much, everyone. It's been really lovely to have the chance to share this creative activity with you. Thank you.